you ever wish you had your phone charger with you when you didn't? Well, of course, that's kind of a silly question because we all wish we had our phone charger when we need it. Well, our next guest is making that wish come true and that problem a thing of the past. He is the co-founder of a company called Prong, Jesse Pliner. Jesse, welcome into Tomorrow. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Dave. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. When we first saw your product, my producers and I said, okay, we've obviously got to have them on because this is sort of like a no-brainer. You know, it's one of those, duh, you know, we're running around with extra charging devices and stuff in case of an emergency. And here's what he's got. We're going to show you on the video. And, of course, if you're listening on the radio, just visit intotomorrow.com. So you got your iPhone, right? A 4 or a 5 at this point.
That's
Soon
correct.
to be, I hope, Android. If not, I'll totally erase this interview. And look at that. You flip it up, and you've got an electric outlet, prongs, right there on the back of the phone case. So literally, plug it in, because hopefully you find an outlet somewhere. And then when you're finished charging, you just push the prongs back down, and they're right there perfectly in the back of the case. No fuss, no muss. Phone's charged. Thanks. Have a nice day.
That's it.
Now I also know the name, why I understand the name of the company, Prong.
It's interesting is that we actually came up with the name Prong, and we tried to, without really thinking about the prongs. Obviously, we're thinking power, and we're thinking all these things, but the name Prong didn't really come from the fact that we're putting prongs in the case, believe it or not.
Okay, I believe it then. How did it come about?
I'll tell you, the hardest thing we've done in this whole process is thinking of a name. So
of course, and a name that you can associate a good website to, because that's the goal here, right?
Exactly. You're trying to find something that's you could trademark, that you could make a website, that you could build a great brand that people will remember. Finding a name for a product or a brand is definitely not an easy task.
So how did you happen to come upon Prong then?
You know, it just came down to the point where we literally had a gun to our heads and we had to make a decision because we were about to go and start producing, you know, packaging and things like that.
Yeah, you had a product, and now
Exactly.
quick, we got to call it something, and we got to have a
Exactly.
company. And what's really neat is now, of course, you're talking about the Prong Pocket Plug is
That's
what you're
correct.
calling it. iPhone 5 case or iPhone 4s even, you mentioned. It's a case and charger in one.
That's correct.
And it just makes life so much easier to literally plug your phone in.
That's correct.
And forget about worrying about, oh man, did I bring my cable to charge my phone? Because, oh great, I found an outlet, but now I don't have my cable. You don't need any of that.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of great solutions out there. Other companies make other power solutions, things like that, that are very convenient and you know, very helpful. But I found myself using those solutions, and you know, I'm a heavy iPhone user. A lot of people have great apps that they like using, and more so than not, even if you have the extra battery on your phone, you're going to find yourself in a situation where now you need other accessories to keep your phone up.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like that solution. So I want something where I might be compromising on the extended battery, but at least all I need to do is find an outlet, and I can capture way over 100% extra over the course of the day.
Now, how long does it have to be plugged in order to get a charge? I mean, is this kind of a standard charge as you would plug in your regular iPhone charger to an outlet?
Relatively speaking, Apple has certain requirements with regards to how you could charge their devices. For the iPhones, they allow...
Why doesn't that surprise me? And you probably pay them of something to comply, right?
Yeah, well, you know what? They made a great product for me to make products for, so I have a lot to thank them for, too.
You're telling a big Android fan, so I'll go, yeah,
well,
whatever.
Android's going to be the same thing, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. And how soon will Android users get to have a Prong?
I would ask the Samsung Galaxy guys how soon they could have a Prong. I heard they might have a big announcement coming up in the spring, so we'll see.
I see. Well, hopefully it involves you guys.
That would be even better.
I see. One of those non-disclosure kinds of things happening here. I'm getting the wink and the nod. Not a problem, but make sure you stay in touch with us, because I'm
Absolutely.
happy to share that knowledge once it's available.
Thank you, Dave. It's been a great pleasure being with you.
Meantime, this is available now for iPhones 4 and 5. And for how much?
For $70 for the 5 and $60 for the 4 on our website, goprong.com, and also on Amazon by typing in the keyword Pocket Plug.
Pocket Plug, very fine. And probably end up in stores, I'm hoping, for your sake soon, too.
Yeah, all of our sakes.
All right, terrific. Thanks, Jesse, for joining us. GoProng.com. We'll link you to Jesse's site as well when you visit us at intotomorrow.com. And we're back with more from Las Vegas. I'm Dave Graveline. This is the Advanced Media Network.